stop what you're doing. For 4,000 years, the Middle East was the center of civilization. Mesopotamia, Egypt, Persia, the Islamic Golden Age. Power, wealth, and knowledge flowed through this region, connecting 3 continents. Then, for 200 years, just 200, the Middle East became a backwater. Europe rose, America dominated. The Middle East became nothing but oil fields and war zones. 2 centuries of decline after 4 millennia of dominance. Here's what should terrify you, or excite you. Those 200 years were the anomaly, and the 21st century is proving it. I'm going to show you exactly why power is shifting back, not with speculation, but with the data and trends nobody else is connecting. By the end of this video, you'll see the world differently than everyone you know. But first, YouTube buried long analysis. If you want content that thinks in centuries instead of seconds, you have to choose it. Hit subscribe right now or this disappears into the algorithm. Let's begin. The 20th century was a historical accident. For the first time ever, geography stopped mattering. Sea power and air power let Europe and America dominate without controlling land routes. The British Navy could project force anywhere. American bombers could strike any target. The Middle East's position at the crossroads of continents became irrelevant. Why care about overland routes when you could sail around Africa or fly over it? Add oil, and the region became a resource colony. The West extracted wealth while keeping power. The Middle East had money but no autonomy, no innovation, no leadership. That's over. Geography is back. China's Belt and Road Initiative is rebuilding the ancient Silk Road, land routes through the Middle East connecting Asia and Europe. Why? Because shipping through choke points is slow and vulnerable. The Suez Canal gets blocked, straits get closed. Overland routes through Turkey, Iraq, Iran, and the Gulf offer alternatives the West can't control. The Middle East's location is an asset again. Now look at the demographics. Europe is aging into oblivion. Japan is aging. China's population is collapsing. South Korea's birth rate is 0.7, civilizational suicide in real time. The Middle East? Young people. Median age in Yemen, 20. Iraq, 21. Egypt, 24. Compared to Japan at 49, Germany at 48, Italy at 48. Youth means economic dynamism, labor force, consumer demand, innovation. Europe enters demographic winter. The Middle East enters a boom. And youth drives everything: growth, military power, cultural production, political energy. The energy transition will surprise you. Everyone assumes renewables will destroy Gulf states. Wrong. The Middle East has the best solar resources on Earth, vast deserts, intense sun year-round. Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Egypt are investing hundreds of billions to become renewable superpowers. NEOM is a $500 billion city powered entirely by renewables. UAE operates the world's largest single-site solar plant. They're not fighting the transition, they're leading it. Here's the kicker. The same infrastructure that exported oil now exports hydrogen. Green hydrogen, made from water and renewable energy, is how you store and transport clean power. Guess who's positioning to dominate? Gulf states. Same geography, same capital, same trade relationships, different molecule. They're turning the energy transition into their next advantage. Scarcity forces innovation. The Middle East has no water, so Israel built the world's most advanced recycling and desalination systems. They recycle 90% of wastewater. Spain, number 2, manages 20%. Gulf states are building massive solar-powered desalination plants. They're investing in vertical farming and precision agriculture. When water scarcity hits the world, the Middle East will sell the solutions because they solved it first. Follow the money. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, $700 billion. UAE's combined funds, $1.5 trillion. Qatar, Kuwait. These are the largest capital pools on Earth. And they're not just buying assets, they're buying the future. Saudi PIF backs Lucid Motors. They invest in AI, robotics, biotech. UAE builds tech hubs, Dubai Internet City, Masdar City. They're recruiting global talent with tax-free income and infrastructure that works. Culture is shifting too. While America debates library books, Saudi Arabia opened its first opera house. The Louvre Abu Dhabi displays Leonardo da Vinci. Qatar hosted the World Cup. The UAE hosts global innovation summits. This isn't soft power, it's a signal. The Middle East is open for business and culture in ways it hasn't been for generations. Regional integration is accelerating. The Abraham Accords normalized Israeli-Arab relations. This is massive. Israeli technology plus Gulf capital plus 400 million consumers creates an economic bloc that rivals anything in the West. It's already happening.
Meanwhile, the West is losing the plot. American universities cost $200,000 and bury you in debt. UAE builds world-class institutions, recruits top faculty, charges nothing. King Abdullah University in Saudi pays scientists more than Harvard. American infrastructure crumbles, roads, bridges, airports from the 1960s falling apart. The Middle East builds from scratch with 21st century technology. Compare JFK Airport to Dubai International. It's embarrassing. American political dysfunction accelerates. Two parties that can't govern, endless culture wars, legislative paralysis. Gulf states execute 30-year development plans with ruthless efficiency. You can criticize their methods, but you cannot say they aren't building. Europe is worse. America's dysfunction, plus worse demographics, plus energy dependence, plus regulatory paralysis. The EU can't decide anything. Member states veto each other. Innovation dies by committee. The best European talent flees to America or the Gulf. China rises but faces demographic collapse, real estate crisis, debt bombs, and authoritarian control that stifles innovation. And critically, China needs the Middle East for energy, for trade routes, for markets. This gives the region leverage it hasn't held in decades. By 2040, the Middle East becomes the connector between a declining West and a rising but constrained Asia. Geography matters again. Trade flows through the region. The energy transition creates leverage, not eliminates it. Youth provides dynamism aging powers lack. Capital investments mature. Cultural openness attracts talent. Regional integration creates economic mass, and Western decline leaves a vacuum. But this isn't guaranteed. Political instability could destroy everything. Authoritarian regimes, sectarian conflict, the Iran-Saudi rivalry. If the region tears itself apart, potential means nothing. Water scarcity threatens collapse without continued innovation. Education quality determines whether youth becomes dynamism or unrest. And dependence on autocracy creates fragility. If oil revenue drops or freedom demands rise, the social contract breaks. Can they open without collapsing? Unknown. Yet here's what matters. Middle Eastern governments attack these problems with resources and urgency. They invest billions in water technology. They hire global consultants to reform education. They make painful compromises, like Israel-Arab normalization, to ensure stability. Compared to America, where everyone knows infrastructure crumbles, education fails, and politics breaks, yet nobody acts. Which system adapts faster? The one that solves problems or the one that argues about them? Power moves. It follows geography, demographics, capital, and innovation. For 4,000 years, those favored the Middle East. For 200 years, they favored the West. Now they shift again, not through moral superiority or destiny, but through measurable trends in energy, demographics, technology, and capital. The Middle East's return isn't certain. It depends on choices made now, but the trend lines are clear. Western decline isn't inevitable either, but it requires facing reality, which so far we refuse to do. If you're in the West, the question isn't whether the Middle East rises, it's whether we compete or coast until too late. If you're in the Middle East, the question isn't whether you hold advantages, it's whether you use them wisely or squander them, as you did after the Islamic Golden Age. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. The Middle East was the world's center for millennia. It declined for 2 centuries. The 21st century could see the return, not to the past, but to centrality in a new order. Ignore this and you'll be blindsided. If this reframed your next 30 years, subscribe to Media Point. This is the pattern analysis you cannot find in the news cycle. Hit the like button so the algorithm knows long thinking deserves reach. Then comment, is the Middle East actually rising, or what am I missing? I want voices from the region, from the West, from Asia. This affects everyone. Let's talk. I'll see you in the next one.